Hello and welcome. I am Dogbert, and we have a new danger room out finally with the superior Insidious. I don't know. Six. Sinister. I don't know. Lots of sixes. How's that? And this one is unfortunately quite easy, actually, if you bring the right characters and you do the right stuff. So this is just to show that this is a genuine, very first time running it on this account. This is the proctologist account I run, thanks to Sinbull, who gave me this account. It's also allowed me to make those Dark Dimension videos I've been making. I've already done this on Dogbert, and I had to go and redo it on here. As you can see, the only thing we're going to have is that number one there, the 0. They give the Sinister 6, Superior 6, the Insidious 6, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, so the two characters you're going to want to start with are right here, Vulture and Superior Spider-Man. Those are the two characters you want to start with. Vulture, very quick. Plus he gets damage off of kills. He gets the speed bar off of anything dying. In Superior Spider-Man, he's a pretty good healer. His special is actually probably his better ability in that it does have an ability block built into it, but he does give out Safeguard and heals up other Superior 6 or Sidious 6. I don't know. So the very first node, here we go. As I already talked through this, things are going pretty quick. If this is just a standard first node, you just pretty much want to use basics here. Not really use your cooldowns. And just get through it. And I will speed this video up. Alright, so it came to the claim. I didn't really get much there. I just chose the on-spawn and offense down for when enemies do take their turn. Alright, next node we got the Goblin, we got Carnage, we got, what the hell is the name of that team? I can't remember. So I just went through some damage there. For Superior Spider-Man, we got some heals out. We got the Safeguard out. Deathlock doing his thing. I really can't remember that name of that team. The old raid team. Tech raid team. Been a while. Alright, Vulture. His special is pretty good too. Flipping buffs and clearing buffs and killing people. Obviously not going to get through Red Goblin. He's going to bring Carnage back. This was just a really annoying second node, to be honest with you. I had to take a lot of time to get through this. So I was going to ability block Viv, but she died, so it didn't matter. Ended up killing Carnage too. And I just want to take out Vision because he's annoying. So you're going to see this is going to take me a little bit. Because pretty much now we want to go down to basics. He dodges a lot. We want to get our energy back for the next nodes. Just doesn't want to quite die. Your Vision doesn't dodge. This one dodges half the time. But he's finally gone. And we go after the Goblin. Come on. There we go. There he goes. Yeah, taking some damage. Take some more from Deathlock. Why not? But we're going to save that ultimate. We don't need to heal right now. And we're going to move on to node 3. As you can see, there's my run score going up to a whole 200. And on this claim, I got some little bit better stuff. So, given the choices here, I just went and got the if 3 or less, get ability energy. Now we actually get some characters here. Now you have Gobby and Hobby here. I actually went for Hobby. He's actually quite good. He does a lot of passive damage, as you'll see once we bring him in here. We went and took on the harder node. Because we need to get some more coins, get some more boons. I really think like the first few nodes like this are actually are some of the tougher nodes, just because you don't have all those boons going. So we're just gonna go in there, get rid of some evades, and we're gonna heal up Superior Spider-Man. End up getting those safeguards and some regens on us. Now his Hobby's middle ability flips the positive effects. It's really quite good. when he does get to take a turn. It's only a 3-turn cooldown, too. 3 energy. And you'll see later on how we exploit Vulture also. So that was a pretty easy, difficult node, if you want to call it that. And let's move on to the claim. So this one we got Goblin Bombs, but we also have the Carnage Boom. Goblin Bombs is a good ability. That don't discount that what it does. But the Carnage Boom 25 when they drop below 25% health to get 10% speed bar, we definitely want that. So we go against another difficult node. We took the harder one. So the first couple you could definitely do the more difficult nodes, get you more coins as far as the purple ones go. So now that we have Vulture, we're going to slow everybody down. That ultimate is very important inside of this danger room. We did ability block Oath. You'll see in a little bit that doesn't really matter. Dealing with these Night Stalkers. Taking out some more. Going after Oath now. There goes Cyclops. You can see the passive damage from Hobby. Ended up knocking Oath into Invis. Thanks to Agatha. And Agatha is going to be quite a pain here, actually. Going to try to heal up. Get that safeguard. And the heals. Now his ultimate does hit everybody on the board, which is nice, and does put out a heal block. But I still think his Hobby's special is probably his best ability. Well, trying to slow him down a little bit. She's trying to take out Oath, but she keeps staying up there and being very annoying. And we finally got rid of Oath. We have Aggie there. I'll be doing a lot of damage with his basic even. Kinda got scared there because you can see he has Hobby drop down into the red. Got stunned by Agatha. And we're stuck behind Mossman. Hobby getting out of that stun. As we try to get rid of Aggie. There she goes. And now we can focus on Mossman. I'm using Vulture's middle ability to get some of those buffs off of him. Wanted to heal up Hobby there. Got the heals that we needed. Again, going to use Vulture's middle ability. His special. And I decided to try to flip that defense up into the defense down. It worked. And we kill Mossman. Let's move on to the claim. Now on this claim, I'm going to take a second here. I'm going to be taking this one here called Villain's Revenge. On hero death, a Superior Spider-Man is an ally, which we have. All allies gain an ability energy. I forget what else it does, but the main thing is the ability energy. Also, you get offense up and speed up. This is a huge boon to get, as you'll see what it allows me to really do. To really get through this danger room. So I took the Kang 5% there. Now, whenever you can get characters, you want to get characters as much as you can. Lizard's actually quite good. I actually took him here. I wasn't sure about it, and I was actually kind of glad I took him. He did come in a little bit handy. And you will be needing multiple characters outside of just the main team. The final node, I have been using a SAC team in my attempts just to make the final node a little bit easier, and you get plenty of characters where you could have a SAC team or a cleanup team. As you can see, now we can use Vulture's ultimate. Didn't get anybody killed. Unfortunately, if you ability block Boomerang, he just clears it off anyway on his turn. There it goes. Now here's where Lizard came in quite handy, getting those buffs off of them. Plus we did kill. You can see the energy, the buffs coming out now as we get some hero kills. There's a lot of heroes on these nodes. So now we have Vulture back with his ultimate, which you want to exploit when you have all these heroes you can kill. You can see this is where you get to really exploiting Vulture. You're killing people, you're getting his energy back. You can use his ultimate over again. Gotta flip some buffs. And Hobby's actually gonna wipe him out. You can see all the energy coming into the different characters. This is really gonna feed us and make this a lot simpler as we move on to our claim. So for this, we're going to speed up the goblins. They get 10% speed bar on spawn. Always a nice thing to have. We always want to go faster if we can. Right, this node we have some secret defenders. We got evil silver surfer. Yeah, you got some vigilante. Again, actually lizard coming in handy, getting those buffs off. And we're gonna hit everybody with hobby. And get those kills going. See all the damage he does. There comes the energy. Here comes our speed up, offense ups. And Vulture can start doing his thing. Didn't really need to do much here, just basic. We'll take care of them. So we get rid of Daredevil Mustard here. There he goes. There goes Mustard. Alright. Moving on to the next node and another claim. So in this claim, we also have the Goblin Bombs again. That is, again, a good one. You also have allies gain energy for an active ability, get 10% speed bar. I was actually taking the Goblin Bombs. Now we're actually going into the store. You always want to check out these ability. This is an extra energy on kill. That one I definitely am taking. That one's not too good. The other ones are okay. But we need to get some characters because, like I said, we're going to need a sack team. So I ended up actually having enough for it. I took all three of these characters just to kind of have in the back pocket. Mysterio is quite good. His ability to put blinds out in the entire other side of the team plate is very good. Now you notice I put Doc Ock in here for this particular node because you didn't notice there is a Carnage on this node. And that's where Mysterio would be a liability because he put those little summons out right at the beginning where if they were to die, Carnage would start feeding the other symbiotes. But it didn't really matter because, well, Vulture just killed somebody. We have Lizard again. We got some more kills going on. There comes all those energy. Hobby's killing people off too with his passive. Just like that, the node is wiped out. So, very quick notice, we got another claim here. Nothing too spectacular here. This took the ultimate to extend duration of positive effects. So, originally in this ode, I had Doc Ock in Mysterio's place, but it didn't go too well. I had to bring Mysterio in, which made all the world of the difference, that's for sure. Now, I'm actually going to use the special here on Vulture on purpose. I want them to be taking a turn and kill the Mysterio summons to speed Vulture up, because now I can use his ultimate and hit them as well. So I got 2 turns with Vulture right off the bat. And then we're going to use Godly to flip those buffs. And we take out Boomerang. Because if Boomerang got to go, he'd do way too much damage. Odin's one weakness is that he's kind of slow. So that kind of helps us out. And get the ultimate there. We're getting all that energy because we got a kill. Again, Lizard coming in handy. Taking off some of those buffs, doing some damage. And we don't get any energy off of directly energy for gore, but we do get the adjacent energy kill. You can see all that energy is coming out again as we start to exploit Vulture. Mysterio dropping the hammer. More energy because we did get a kill again. You can't really flip anything on Apocalypse, but Hobby hits very hard, as you can see. And we just clean this node up now, as Captain Sam just needs to be die. There he goes. So, pretty easy node. Better with Mysterio than it was with Doc Ock, I can tell you that. I had to reset it. It was so bad. So, as far as this claim goes, I got some good stuff with the entry wound. This is giving bleed to all enemies, plus they can't gain immunity. I absolutely took that. And if you have a shop choice, I always take the shop. So I got some more characters in there. Nothing too spectacular as far as these boons go, so I decided to spend on characters. I took Scorpion. Hadn't used Scorpion yet. He does have some bleed. This has some bleed synergy, so that was nice. And I took the other Goblin because we do have that one buff to put goblins up. So I took Lizard out and put Scorpion in. All right, you got Blade and Oath there, and some Masters of Evil. So Blade and Oath are the only ones that are really going to give us any kind of extra energy off of Superior Spider-Man, but we still get energy off the adjacent kills. On a kill, we get to adjacent. That's it. I get my something wrong with the glider there, bugged out. It didn't really matter. We just took them right out. No problem. Namor's dead. Goodbye. Easy node again as we move on. Another node, another claim. Nothing spectacular here, but we do have defense down to all enemies on spawn. That's going to help us with our exploitation. And this time I chickened out and went with the easier node. So this node, look at all those nice heroes. That's going to be lots of energy for us, that's for sure. Oh, Vulture, do your thing. I had to deal with Kate hopping around there, but Hobby knocks her out, gives us even more energy, gets us our buffs. We'll use Vulture's ultimate again. We get some more kills, more buffs. Look at this. This is just going nuts. I'm like, okay, I'll just use the special this time. Plus, we only have 2 characters left, so the amount of energy we get is going to be lower. So I wanted to just waste it all. And easily taking out that node. And this claim we do have on enemy death gain speed up. We don't really need that, but the interesting one here was the blinding venom. When they take bleed damage, you apply blind to that character. We already had the bleeds on spawn, so it made sense to try this one out. It's okay. It's definitely not going to make your run. Not like the energy booms that we were seeing. All right, this one we have a Hela, actually. That will be great for her Vulture, because that means there's Greg to kill. And whenever Greg dies, that's more speed bar for Vulture. So this actually really helps out here. But we are going to be stuck behind the Pedro taunt and Undead Juggernaut taunt. But we are killing the Greg at least, so that's giving speed bar to Vulture. Plus we get some energy for the on a kill get to the adjacent people. So Juggy got the blind because he took damage from bleed. We get in there, we kill Juggy. And now we have to work through Pedro's taunt. This is actually where Scorpion's going to come in quite handy on this node. Once we get to him, we're going to apply blinds to everybody. The Scorpion's finally going to take a turn here. And it's his ultimate because it does reduce duration of positive effects. If they have bleed or something like that. I forget what it is. You can see he's flipping all those effects. He's actually quite nice. He's a little on the slow side. But now we can get to everybody. This node's done for, obviously. We're just going to wait for all the energy to go. Hey, why not? We're going to get more energy anyway. And we're just going to basic into Odin. Even Odin was no match for us. Alright, another claim. This one we had an interesting one. 20% damage for each enemy that has bleed. That's going to be quite a bit of damage for us. And this is where they're really going to try to screw us pretty good, because they gave us a node with only really one hero. This is Deathseed and Mephisto node. The only hero, of course, being Psylocke. Now Mephisto is quite quick, so he's going to go and take a couple of turns on us. We still also have to deal with Apocalypse. They have Safeguard. A lot of nasty stuff. So in this one, we're going to have to be very careful with our cooldowns. We're not going to be getting as much energy back as we would like. Plus, you also have the counterattacks to deal with as well. As you saw, Vulture had to take those. Just going to try to flip some effects and just do some damage there. But they all had Safeguard because I'm an idiot. I don't know, maybe I should have done the ultimate. It didn't really matter in the end. I was able to get through this no problem. It's just you had to think about it and remember you're not going to get as much energy out of this node. So I wanted to hit everybody with Mysterio. His ultimate is quite, it's okay. and it is expendable. Scorpion doing some really good job there, getting rid of those buffs for us. As you can see, get rid of Apocalypse, and then we just knock out Mephisto. Too bad, Meth Head. Goodbye. On to the next claim. This one was kind of weird with, you get the Smoke and Mirrors where you get a clone of Mysterio. I went for the Rhino's Momentum. It doesn't really make much of a difference, I think. 5% if the extra damage. It does extend the run, but it would be nice if I got this earlier in the run, because we're going into the final node as soon as we get done with this shop. And I probably should have just taken another character, but we do have Hobgoblin Stash, which is quite nice. Getting offense up and extra damage for offense up. That was the only thing I really took. Now, my initial try did not go well. This is where I figured I'd just use the SAC team. It was worked on my first try on my Dogbear's account. So my SAC team is going to look at these four, who I'm really not using. You got the OG Goblin back there. He's back there, don't worry. We got Doc Ock, we got Rhino, and we have Lizard here. As you can see, this what makes this one hard is you have Spider Society very quick. As you can see, Pitara, or whatever his name is. You got Big Time Spider-Man, and the big thing, the most hurtful one of all, Xavier. Plus you have 2099 and Weaver in there as well, just to make your life more miserable. So pretty much I sent this SAC team in just to really take down abilities. Maybe do a little bit of damage, not too much though. I wasn't really sure what Rhino does. It's been a very long time since I used Rhino. I couldn't remember what his abilities are. Just trying to get the taunt. Get some of those cooldowns used up. I was actually kind of surprised how well Lizard survives. He survives quite a while, because he does get all those death proofs. So we're just using up their abilities. And one thing to remember is counterattacks also when you come back into this node. I know my second try, where I actually brought my regular team in, I tried using Vulture's ultimate. It didn't go well because it had all these counterattacks hitting him and pretty much killing him. So just keep that in mind. That's what happened to my second try. I reset the node though, and I was victorious finally then, as we'll take a look now. So this was a bit of an uglier win than I would have liked, but it does work. And the main thing here, like I said, is remember those counterattacks for Vulture. So what we're going to do here then, you can see the blinds coming into a play with that whole they take bleed thing. Kind of helping us out there. Didn't have any effect in Weaver. So we are actually at Weaver with a charge, so that was going to be a miss. That's why I basicked with Vulture. And you can see they already took out Scorpion on me. So I went for an ability block here on the worst father in the world, Peter, bringing his kid to a fight. That also gets rid of those debuffs that I had on Vulture, which I did not want. We have Hobby going now, so we can try to flip some buffs. So this came in very handy. Hobby doing a lot of work there for us to really get through this node. And now we can finally use Vulture again. Got some kills to speed him up. Now I should have immediately started targeting Chuck over there, Charlie Brown. But I didn't, but I'll learn my lesson. We lost Hobby, unfortunately, because of that. We're going to get the blind on him with Mysterio as we just focus Charlie Brown down. Mysterio doing the heavy lifting there. And Spear Spider-Man dies. And we take home the victory on the very first shot of difficulty 10 in this new danger room. You can see the score go up. You can see it was in difficulty 10, 102,000 something. So a pretty easy danger room overall. You should have a pretty easy time with this one. Just start out with Superior Spider-Man and Vulture. Exploit Vulture as much as you can. I'll see you in the next one. Until then. And here's all the rewards. I like the little frame also. It's kind of neat. But there you go. There's all the rewards. Okay. Until next time, everybody.